Alright, what is up everybody? This is Alex with the EOT News Flash Extra, an EOT News Flash Extra, split-second segment, behind the scenes, whatever you want to call it. This is Tuesday after the Sunrise of Innistrad pre-release, and as I promised you guys in the podcast this week, I told you I would be going over the pools that I opened up and showing you kind of the decks that I built out of the cards themselves, and kind of going over my thoughts on what I thought about the deck in general, and letting you guys kind of take a crack at telling me, oh, you built this wrong, you should have played this color, why did you play this, this card sucks. So we're going to be going card by card over the next two videos, since I played in a midnight and a Saturday pre-release. There'll be two videos, each showing a different pool, breaking down the cards and everything else like that. So check it out. If you like it, don't forget to comment and subscribe and follow us on Twitter and all that good stuff. You'll find out all in the show notes up here. But yeah, this should be kind of fun and a cool little exercise for me to gotta go back and just see if I'm actually as good as I think I am. But hey, thanks for watching. All right, let's not waste any time. We get right into our pool from the midnight pre-release for Shadows of Innistrad. So with the white cards here, definitely one of the stronger colors in our pool. Our one drops included Fragment Instigator, or Inspector, aka Inspector Gadget, Toppelgeist, which is just the push Geist, Town Gossipmonger, Stern Constable. This is the only one I wasn't really excited about playing. Discarding cards to stab the creature was not great. The other three, really powerful cards right here. In our two drop spot, we had Unruly Mob, Double Thorn Fox, Puncturing Light, and Expose Evil. Really solid removal spell and a decent tempo spell as well. Our three drops, we had Ethereal Guidance, a great combat trick here. Well, I say combat trick, and it's more like your opponent sees it coming from a mile away because you have to cast it in your main phase. And we had a pair of Dauntless Cathars, which are able to turn themselves into a spirit once they have died. A really good comment here in Inspiring Captain, who's +1/+1 to your entire team. The star of the show, Odric Lunark Marshall. This guy creates just the most awkward game takes for your opponent because the combat trigger happens every turn, and if anything has any kind of extra ability, be it flying from a spirit or first strike or trample, Odric is going to make these things. All your creatures have those abilities, and he's absolutely an all-star. He made the deck, spoilers. We also had Silver Strike here, which is a great catch-all attacking creature removal spell. You get decent win gains from that as well. And we also had Humble the Brute for the bigger creatures in the set. Great way to kill creatures with powerful Invader and also get some value by investigating. So, great start here with our white. Let's move on and see what else we got. And we are moving right along to the blue cards, the color that I was the most excited to play at the pre-release. But unfortunately, as you will soon see, not great. We got Essence Flux right here, a decent combat for spirits, of which we had none. Got a pair of Fugitive Homunculus, decent little sculpt guy. A whole mess of unplayable two drops. Aside from just the win, Nagging Thoughts isn't terrible, but when you've got stuff like Jace's Scrutiny, Double Press for Answers, Ongoing Investigation, Ghostly Wings, your blue's pretty poor. Some decent three drops here, though. We have the Stitch Mangler, which is able to tap the creature when it comes into play. It keeps it tapped for the turn. Nibblers of Dusk is a great prowess flyer threat. Reckless Scholar is a great control card here to be able to, start getting cards in your hand that you're not looking for, like Feeling Delirium, and a couple of counter spells and a decent draw spell as well. Pieces of the puzzle. So some decent control cards here, but nothing really tying the whole blue pool together. We've got 1/5 flyer here, Solid Observer, a decent creature, Dragon Explorers, definitely good for investigating, and a couple of good 5 drops here. We have the Flash 3/3 flyer and Stormwinder Spirits. Lamplighter Selhoff is a great way if you've got zombies to kind of filter out your library, of course, which we have none. And we've got a great removal spell here, Gone Missing, a great time walk against your opponent. And it all tops off here with Rise from the Tides. If you got a bunch of instants and sorceries, this card's really good. But of course, when this is what you're working with, not so great. You're not raising anything from the Tides. Yeah, so blue was actually really poor, and that was not something I was hoping for. But it redeemed itself with our next pre-release pool. But let's move on to the next. All right, and we move right along into our black cards. This was a color I was also really excited to play with in this sealed format, and there's some good stuff here. Just not enough. We start out with the Liliana's Indignation. This is a great card if you're trying to fireball your opponent out and you are certain you'll be able to hit up creatures with it. I almost got killed by this on my Saturday morning pre-release, but this is just a card that I wasn't too excited with playing. We have a pair of Shamblebacks, which is, if there's a creature in the graveyard that you absolutely have to get rid of, this is not a bad card to play. It replaces it with a 2/2 body, and you gain 2 life. So there's a lot of text on here that does a lot, and it does a lot of things, but nothing too exciting, especially in the colors we've opened so far, that I, I'm not wanting to remove creatures from graveyards all that much. I'm putting pressure on my opponent, not wanting to kill something. And the removal so far hasn't been great either. We do have a premium black removal spell here in Deadweight. This is a great card in original Innistrad limited, and it is so again here, but as we're going to find out, black just wasn't all that deep. One of the best Madness enablers in the entire set, called Bloodline, is in our black. If I had the Madness cards for it, I would have been playing black. That is absolutely a definite. We also have Macabre Waltz, or Macabre Waltz. Just another card that, you want cards in your graveyard, but just there wasn't a whole lot going on with my deck, or the black pool, to make me want to be able to do that. We do have Heir of Falkenrath, which is a 2/1 that flips into the 3/2 Heir of the Night. This card is absolutely insane, and I've gone on record saying this thing is almost modern playable. I think it's really powerful. I just wish there were more black cards in our pool to actually back this up. We have another solid black creature here in Kindly Stranger. It's a 2/3 that turns into a 4/3 that kills a creature. It's also pretty foil too when it transforms, but it does require a Delirium to be enabled, and there wasn't a lot of ways to get that going. So this was a card that I was excited to play, but just unfortunately couldn't get there. We have Alms of the Vein, which is a decent sort of like Lightning Helix-esque ability with a good Madness outlet. But again, not anything that wanted me to really put myself into black. We also have Farlight Revenant, which is a solid creature with a Skulk ability. It's really good. It has a nice sized body, can block pretty well. Had Crow of Dark Tidings. This card is great for enabling Delirium, and a solid body on a 2/1 flyer. Really solid card here. We have the Stormcrow Mentor, which also doesn't count on a vampire you control, but unfortunately the vampire count was all of 1, 2, 3 as we get to 100 minutes, so not very great there. We have the Stallion of Ashmouth, which is, not terrible, but requires a Delirium again to actually get going. Creeping Drill, which is an absolutely terrible enchantment. Make sure this card cards in your hand, trying to get any bonus out of it. We have the Twins of Mauer Estate, which this card is fantastic to Madness it out, but again, with only the one Madness outlet and call it Bloodline, just not a good option for us. And we also had Morkrut Necropod, which is a massive creature that requires you to sack a creature or a land, whatever it attacks or blocks. Good black cards. Some very solid black cards, just not enough support for it, as we're going to find out in the rest of it. And we are moving right along the color pie, right into our red cards, of which we've opened very few. In our 1-drops, we had probably a couple of the worst ones in the entire set. We had Insolent, there we go. Sacrifice, discard a card, draw a card, has Madness, just not very good at all. Rush of Adrenaline, not a card I'm ever excited to be playing as a combat trick. We have Senseless Rage, which is a decent enchantment with a decent Madness cost, but not very exciting. Sin Power was one of the most exciting red cards we had. This card is kind of like the reverse Dark Conduit that makes your opponent take life for every card that you do that you don't want them to draw, or that they want you to draw. You get the card out of it. If they don't want you to draw the card, they're going to take some damage, and also you're going to be able to fill it to win another. So strong card, but just not enough to really power up with it. We had a pair of Howlpack Wolves, which is not terrible if you had a bunch of other wolves and werewolves. We had Oldrick's Kinder, which is just a creepy little guy who can get pretty nuts as a 3/2. We had the Convicted Killer, which turns into a 4/4, just vanilla there. Had Golden Knight Castigator, which is an absolute bomb unlimited if your opponent doesn't kill you with their own as soon as they combat trick you out of the game. Pirate Hound, which is another great creature here. If we had more removal spells and more just tricks to use, he would have definitely made the cut. Dance with Devils is a great instant speed spell here to get a couple of blockers out and play, and potentially block your opponent to kill other creatures at the same time. And Incorrigible Youths, which is a great Madness target for vampires, and is a huge body for its cost if you Madness it out in time. Next one we have is Dissension in the Ranks. As I noted in my set review, this card is pretty good if you can blow out 2 creatures of your opponents at the same time, but it's just really hard to cast. And sometimes you're just not going to be able to use it effectively. You might only get 1 card out of it. And the last red card is Reduced to Ashes, which is a pretty solid removal spell. Even at 5 mana, it's going to kill most things, and also remove it from the game as well. So, some decent red cards here. Sin Prodder, Gold Knight Castigator, a couple of decent wolves that maybe think about playing red, and you'll actually see that a couple of them actually may be cut. Alright, and here we go with the last bit of these monocolored cards from the set, from the Midnight Sealed Pool. Starting out right here, we have Triple Vessel of Nascency. Great enable for Delirium if my deck actually cared about that, though. We've also got Confront the Unknown. This is not a card that I'm ever going to play, most likely unless I'm playing some sort of hardcore Investigate deck. Next we have a slew of 2-drops in the 2 spot. We have the Green Doomblade Rapid Bite, decent fixing and Fork in the Road, great pair of uncommon or common 2-drop creatures, Quill Wolf, Merlin Hogger, and then a Pacifist. We have Moonlight Hunt if you're at your werewolf deck, or just wolf deck in general. This card's a great removal spell. Clip Wings, you gotta go against some flying creatures. Aim High is a pretty poor combat trick. You can always aim a little bit higher than this, I think. We have the Moldgraph Scavenger, aka Babygoyf. We have our Silver Fur Partisan, which is a pretty solid wolf here. You've got some decent combat tricks to go with it. Howlpack Resurgence, a great flash enchantment if you're heavy werewolves and wolves. And in our 4-drops, we have Briarwood Patrol, Solitary Hunter, 3 Intrepid Provisioners, Equestrian Skill, and Might Beyond Reason. Some definite winners in there. And as far as the deck is concerned, green is looking to be the front runner for what our deck will be based in for that pre-release. Alright, and here we are with the very last section of our pool from the Colors of Innistrad pre-release. First we got is Altered Ego. Great when there's something bigger that you've already got that's big, or maybe your opponent has a thing that's really big that you want that's also very big. We have Game Trail, which is a great mana fixture, red and green. Maybe you're trying to splash one of those 2 colors in your red or green deck, and it's a great way to just make your mana a little bit more consistent. The Westvale Abbey promo that we opened, which turns into Ormondal the Profane Prince. Excellent way to finish out the game if you can get this thing online. And a pair of really underwhelming equipment, which are looking less than Skeleton, Key, spoiler alert, and they didn't make the deck. So let's go ahead and see how I built the pool and what I decided to do with it. Okay, and so here we go with the deck from our Midnight pre-release. We're just gonna kind of go card by card here, starting with, the 1s and the lands, the 2-drops, the 3-drops, and the 4s and the 5s. And yeah, as we kind of go through this, just kind of take note of what was in the colors in this particular pool and what I didn't play, and kind of reference back to that. And if you think there was a card that I should have played in this pool that I didn't, or a color that I didn't, definitely let me know in the comments, and we can kind of break this down and see just how I thought I did. So as you can tell with Naya colors, I felt the pool was a little bit weak, or a little bit lacking in both green and white. So I filled in the spots with a couple of red cards, including one very dubious double red card. But let's start with the top of the curve. So we start out with our 1-drops. Flamin' Investigator, Topplegeist, and the Town Gossipmonger. Inspector Gadget was just absurd the entire time. We played on turn 1. You get the clue. Great for card advantage in the late game. Topplegeist is absolutely fantastic if you can enable Delirium. This deck had a little bit of a harder time because I didn't have the vessels to turn it on, but one of the other cards actually did allow me to turn it on relatively easily in some cases. Next we have this Town Gossipmonger, which turns into the, let's see, Infected Rabble. I'm trying to look at my camera on the phone to look at the card. This card actually surprised me a little bit here. There are some cases where I was able to block and transform it mid-combat, and also pump it up to actually blow up my opponent in some cases, which was kind of a cool trick. The having to attack every turn is kind of a downside, but if you can control this guy, he's actually pretty good in a solid aggressive deck. We had 2 lands, or non-basic lands that I played in my deck, one of them being the promo, the Westvale Abbey, that turns into Ormondal Profane Prince. This guy was absolutely nuts the entire time I was able to play it. Transferred a couple of games, really, really good. We did have the Game Trail, the rare dual land from the set that actually made my mana pretty nice. And there were a lot of games where I just had my opening hand, I just played it tapped because I didn't need to have it untapped at all. And it's a good way of not giving your opponent any extra information about what's in your hand. You know, if you have another land that keeps it untapped, so just play it turn one tapped and just kind of going from there wasn't a big deal. So we move on down to our 2-drops. We've got the Unruly Mob. This is a great card in Shadows over our regular original Innistrad, and with the rest of the creatures in this deck, because it's pretty much all creatures. This guy got pretty big in a couple of games. Next one we've got is the Hinterland Logger, which turns into Tender Shredder. It's a 4/2 with Trample. This guy is one of the better werewolves in the set at common, I felt. If your opponent doesn't have anything on their own turn 2, if you're on the play, this guy flips over pretty quick and becomes a very big threat very, very quickly. Next card was Quilled Wolf. I wasn't super impressed by this guy, but he did good work. You know, the pulp ability is kind of irrelevant, and if it gets to the late game, he's probably already dead, but not a terrible curve filler at all. Next card we had was Landhold Passive. This is the one that can't attack unless you control a creature with power 4 or greater, so kind of like a Ferocious trigger. Although once it flips, it turns into a 4/4, which was pretty brutal in a lot of games. Same thing with the Logger. If you got this thing to flip over quickly in any game, it was pretty much a threat to have the answer immediately. We also had a couple of removal spells in. At 2, we had Puncturing Light, which destroys an attacking or blocking creature with power 3 or less. Great solid combat trick. We also had the green Doomblade, Rapid Bite. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to creature you don't control. Great, sort of like a halfway fight. Here was the card that enabled me to go 3 colors with Fork in the Road. You get 2 basic lands out of your deck, plus 1 in your hand, 1 in your graveyard, which was the trick to enable Delirium. Almost off of 1 card, this being the sorcery, and getting the land in the graveyard was a real solid way of getting a Delirium enabled. I'm actually getting my 3 colors online because I think I only played 3 basic mountains in addition to the game land or the game trail in my deck. So moving down to our 4-drops, things get a little bit more powerful down here. We had a pair of the Dauntless Cathar, the 3/2 that you can exile it and get a 1/1 Spirit out of it after it's died. So a great little way to get more benefit out of the creature. Next one we had was the Silver Fur Partisan, which unfortunately I didn't have too many spells that I was able to target with it to get any bonus out of it, but he was just a really solid body that was able to get down a lot of games and do a lot of good damage. Mr. Odric, the Monarchy Marshal, the absolute all-star of this deck. When you combined a lot of the fact that my deck had creatures that had flying or trample, or I think there was a couple of them, or hasten one issue. This guy just got absolutely nuts. A really great card. I'm glad that I had in my pool as far as white cards go. Another card we have was Inspiring Captain. This one and the card next to it, Inspiring Provisioner. These are like the best 4-drop commons in this set. Captain, of course, giving your whole team +1/+1, and Intrepid Provisioner is giving your creature +2/+2 until the end of turn. It's another target human, but most of my deck was entirely human. Next we had Briarwitch Patrol, that gets you to lets you investigate whenever you do damage to a creature, and also the Solitary Hunter, which turns into this massive 5/6 werewolf. That was just really hard for my opponents to deal with when he was able to flip over. And we moved down into the rest of our 4-drops. We had a Dance with Devils, which was a really great combat trick, and Golden Knight Castigator here, which is a very, very, very dangerous card. I would not recommend you play this card unless you got your opponent really dead. Silver Strike, solid removal spell at 4 mana, and our 2 5-drops we had Humble the Brute, another piece of removal, and also Reduce to Ashes. I just needed removal from my deck, and so that was the way I decided to go with that. Overall, the deck felt pretty strong. The Westvale Abbey was a pretty good way to fight through board stalls. You know, I had enough life to kind of give to make creatures, and I had a really sweet turn where I was able to Dance with Devils and sack them to the Westvale Abbey and actually flip it over in the same turn and they do a massive blowout of life and actually swing the game around in my favor. So this is the deck that we decided to play at the Midnight Prerelease. So if you think I built it right, let me know. And if not, tell me what I missed. And yeah, appreciate you guys watching the video. And be sure to watch out for the next one from the Saturday morning. All right, and so that was the deck from the Midnight Prerelease for Shadows of Innistrad. Spoiler alert, I ended up going 2-2. Like any limited format, this is an incredibly bomb-heavy format, and if your bombs are good, you're gonna do really well in a tournament. And that's what I lost to. I lost to Gold Knight Castigators and the 8-drop Delirium Angel that starts to exile things whenever it deals damage. The games that I won were really sweet because my deck was what it was supposed to do. But as I said, when the bombs are bombs, bombs is bombs is bombs is bombs. I mean, I don't know how else to really emphasize that. But I hope you enjoyed this. Be on the lookout for the second video of my pre-release experience from Shadows of Innistrad. Again, if you liked what I built, let me know in the comments. If you didn't, let me know what you might have built instead. I'm always open to suggestions, and I can always look at these things and rebuild it, and maybe even play against a couple of my friends if they want to put their sealed decks together. But again, thanks for watching, guys, and be sure to check out the next new episodes of the podcast next week, and please stay tuned for more videos.